Okay. First and foremost, we must understand what is the type of story you can write. What is the type of story you can write? How many types of story can we write? Any idea? Yeah. Naveen. Bolo.
Sir, redundant in which one event led to another.
Again, kahani mat bolo mere ko. I said different. I said you can write in when we talk about narrative only. We talked about very simple. You can write redemptive story that is from negative to positive. Then we talked about contaminative story that is from positive to negative. And then we talked about exploratory story. That is exploring the extent to which you can explore yourself. That is self-exploration while telling the story. Next is coherent positive resolution. Any problem that is there should be resolved. Then meaning is to make a sense. It should make sense. And finally, we talked about what is the performance. If we cannot do it, then there cannot be any use of writing a story. Second, we have also talked about it. What we talked about coherence. We talked about coherence. What is the different type of coherence we talked about? Any idea? How? Akash. Akash, come back.
Yes, sir.
हाँ बोलो ना देख के तो पढ़ो यार. We talked about
4 times, sir. 4 times.
Now read it out in this. We talked about temporal coherence. That is telling of a story in a clear chronological way. Next is causal coherence. You must draw cause and effect. If you have drawn a Y, that's a thematic coherence. And lastly, cultural coherence. So these are the types. You must remember when you've written on them, when you are discussing the story, do we fit into these or not? Then we have talked about certain do's and don'ts. These are certain do's and don'ts. Did we talk about certain do's and don'ts or not?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So then after that, if you recollect in our book, and those book that Rakas has got from there we have given how to evaluate all your 15 qualities. Right? This is what we are talking about. It. Now let's talk before we proceed on the story. Let's again talk onto the what is the type of a story, how do you evolve the 15 qualities, how do you check these 15 qualities? Okay. 15 quality I check back. First and foremost is your what you call effective intelligence. Effective intelligence is checked if a story can be simple or complex. If a story is complex, you've got effective intelligence. There is the clarity in the story or not. Number two. Number three, are you able to describe the problem? If you cannot describe the problem, you don't have effective intelligence. Then overall success and success is realistic or awareness. Could you apply the time or not? So these are the reasons to check back effective intelligence. And a psychologist will not start looking at a dossier until he is convinced, he or she is convinced that you have got effective intelligence. Okay, so the first and foremost, your aim should be when you're writing a story, your aim should be to please come back, check back you have got effective intelligence. Then we have also talked 6.5 qualities. 6.5 qualities. What are those 6.5 qualities? Which cannot be negative. First and foremost was effective intelligence for psychologists, reasoning ability for G2 and IO. Then we talked about social adaptability, cooperation, and sense of responsibility. That makes it 3+1 for each, that is 4. Then comes for liveliness, 5. After that, courage, 6. And mental stamina, half, because stamina comes from physical stamina as well as mental stamina. So now these are 6.5 qualities you cannot afford to miss out. Besides this, they also need to project what we call it as a motivation. What is motivation to join forces? And so one or the story somewhere, story or WAT or TAT, what is there, you can afford to talk about what is motivation to join services. And next, you must also show your insight. That is, when you are writing about your self-description test, you should be able to come to that. That is 6.5. So this is how all things are to be talked about. If you cannot afford to score these, then there is no use. Right? So based upon that, let's understand what were the different stories that you have written, what is picture of a phone, and how have you related those with okay. Okay. This was the first picture which was into, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, who is first to start?
So me, sir.
Okay, Akash, tell your story.
So Ravi is an NCC cadet who was traveling to Delhi from Lucknow for his exams. While on the train, he realized that the train stopped and there was panic all around. He quickly realized that the compartments behind him caught fire. So he sprang into action. Along with the help of few able-bodied men, he conducted an evacuation. After evacuating everybody, when he realized that there was nowhere out because the compartments were burning, so he jumped out of the train into the river. Later, he was praised by everybody for his bravery and also awarded by the CM for it.
Okay. Now, it's a great story, isn't it? Yeah, very great story.
Yes, sir.
Yes, I think Nikhil he's supporting Akash in a very positive way. Is it? Very nice, great. Now tell me, first 3 lines you wasted in getting panic only. Did you or not? Yes or no? Everywhere was the panic. What does it mean? You are unable to take control of yourself. You come under pressure, number 1. After that, what do? You took an evacuation from where? Does it have a coherence? Tell me, where did you evacuate? How did you evacuate? Where did you take them? And finally, what did you do? You jumped out of the train into the river. Where? Was the train standing near the river? Was it somewhere there? And you have jumped yourself. What does it mean? डरपोक आदमी है. Your courage is questionable. You're gone. हाँ भाई निखिल, what do you have to say now?
सर I mean overall action थोड़ा मैं ध्यान से सुन नहीं पाया था, पर action लगा कि है इसमें. But
understand it is very simple. Understand it is every word matters. Every word matters. It's a resource. It's a resource. What you write, it must convey the right meaning. Any question, Akash? Bata mere ko. Is it which
No, sir. No, sir. Yeah, actually, sir,
yeah.
It seems like I have a lot of missing links, sir. Just as you said. So
not only missing links. Your thoughts are not, your coherence is not there. Now, what we talk to first and foremost, it should flow from one to another. Where is the coherence? You got panic first and foremost. How do you do what it? With the help of other able, you use the word able-bodied person. Very nice. Who are those? Who are disabled people who are training by train? How many of you are there? Were there people, old people like me, who couldn't afford to even support you? You think yourself, that self-bias comes into play? You can misplace idea about yourself. Don't mind that. You know it. We have to be ruthless in our own approach toward thinking. Any question? Anyone? Okay. Now come to Naveen.
Yes. Yes, sir. Sir, Aman was a final year engineering student studying in Lucknow. After his midterm break, he was coming back to his hometown Kanpur. He was coming by train. In the train, a robber snatched his bag.
How many lines are passed?
Sir, four lines.
4 lines. Has the problem defined till now?
Sir, in the 4th line, I have described the problem.
In 4 lines, what have you achieved?
Sir,
it's a waste of resources. You are coming back, you are finally student coming back to home, Kanpur. Tell yourself a story. You're right. You belong to Kanpur. You want to come back. Very nice. Great.
Sir, he was coming back by train.
He were coming back after final exam. They came over the train. यहाँ तक तो कुछ नहीं हुआ ना?
No, sir.
इतना चार line is a wastage. Is it or not?
Yes, sir. I could have wrapped it up in 1 or 2 lines.
That's exactly what is the concept. Next, आगे चलो.
In the train, a robber snatched his bag and jumped into the river.
Okay, hold it. What is river? Is it anti-social activity or not?
Yes, sir.
Unsocial activity? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
What did I tell? You will not write anything about unsocial activity, anti-social activities?
Yes, sir.
Robbery is what?
Antisocial activity.
Sadhu hai kya? Sadhu hai?
No,
Then,
no, sir.
from where this idea came back? It's your environment which is corroding you. अरे कानपुर में उठा के सीट उठा के फेंक देता लोगों को, दिन में गोली चलाता है, वो एनवायरमेंट का इफेक्ट वो पड़ेगा ना?
Yes, sir.
हाँ, तो पड़ेगा तो हटाओ. आगे चलो.
Yes, sir. बिल्कुल.
हटाओगे कहाँ तुम इतना दिस एट द एंड ऑफ द रोड दैट यू आर कमिंग बैक हटाएंगे. आगे चलो.
And jumped into the river. Aman immediately pulled the chain to stop train. He got down on a nearby station and reported incident to the RPF. He went with the RPF team to the riverbank to find the robber. After searching the whole area,
he was waiting for you, isn't it? He has robbed you and he was waiting for you to come back so that he can be caught. No?
He pulled the chain, then reported at next station.
So that he was waiting for him, na? He went to the next station, he come back with the police and आज वो मेरे पकड़ लो ना. बहुत बुद्धू चोर था यार. डकैती था. डकैती करने आया था कि क्या खेल खेलने आया था. आगे चलो. Then proceed ahead.
After searching the area, they found the thief and Aman got his bag back and the thief was captured by RPF.
So the problem thief, where you got the bag or not the thief?
Sir, got the bag back and
where was the thief hiding?
captured.
Where the thief was hiding? From where? Again, you're wishful. Again, wishful, isn't it? What is you writing this type of story? Kani.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Akash is a lieutenant posted in Pathankot, is on leave and traveling to Bhopal to meet his parents. He notices fire in his compartment, which was spreading vigorously. While the train was crossing a bridge near Itarsi and stops, he informs others to evacuate the elderly, kids and people out of the other compartment with the help of younger boys. Once others are out of danger and this fire has spreaded all along the compartment, he has to jump out of the bridge to save himself, swims all along the roadside. Later, accident relief train detaches the compartment and people are safely evacuated.
So you left it to God to decide what is the fate of the train, isn't it?
So,
you left it to the God to decide what is to be done with the people. Is it? Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Did you leave it to the God or not? You jumped out to save yourself. What does it mean? You are covered. You run away from the scene. Firstly. Secondly, your idea, the way you have organized your things, that itself is you are not able to think what is chronological things should have been done. Why only evacuated the able but it's old people? Why not others? Others can die in the fire, isn't it? No? Should they die or not? They deserve to be. No, all the people who are young people, they deserve to die.
No, sir.
No, they deserve to die. Why not? Which quality emerges? Is it effective intelligence?
Saved everyone.
The effective intelligence is not there. Reasonability is gone. Organizability gone. What is left over? And yourself, your courage is already tick mark. And I said this is one of the 6.5 qualities. You are gone. No one can afford to save you there. Yeah. Okay. Now let's see some of this story. I don't know how good or bad it is. I know. Read who will read out the story? Let's read out the story. Can you read it?
Rohan, a 20-year boy was interested in mountaineering. He wanted to scale the height of the highest peak. He was staying in a town where mountain was not available. So he managed to practice along the terrace and stairs of his house for practice. He also made the things available for assisting him to be a good mountaineer. He practiced chance to go to HMI through school. He trekked the maximum height and became the only boy from his native place to make it. He continued to do so, and later he got national recognition. He started to train boys who were interested in that and
Okay.
trained many.
What he is trying to do? He is simply assuming that he is practiced in his own house and he is using this train as one. He is jumping out of the train in a station on a station. Yeah, this is what he is assuming. He has integrated that portion into that portion. He's integrated the train. He is going by train. He's going by train. And in his enthusiasm to join that, he has done that. CHE, this is called intellectualization. Though that gentleman was jumping across one system, he has intellectually, he has diverted the whole story into a different fashion. Okay, now, that's the story.
Paramjit was studying in class 12th. He was good at academics. Once his class was given a project in biology. Param and his friends referred internet and various books and presented the project on migratory birds because of the hard work of Param and his friend. His project was liked by the school. The class was taken on an educational tour to Run of Kutch in Gujarat. Param saw the beautiful flamingos flying to the Run of Kutch while going in train, which is one of the words he mentioned in his.
Okay, again, both of them have taken what they have done. They have taken the system. They have taken the system in what way? They have used the train. They have used that. They have integrated their story with the intent. Beyond that, they have not done. Okay. At least these stories are better than yours. Yes or no? Bolo bhai, Naveen.
Yes, sir. Sir, I just have one question that how the previous story was related to the picture.
I told you, right? He is using it as a train. He's jumping out of enthusiasm to run. He said he has been practicing at home. He's during mountain. He's going by train. Did he say that or not? Did
Yes,
he say
sir.
that or not?
Yes, sir.
Did he say that or not?
Yes, sir.
The integration is the integration. You cannot afford to go jump करके मरने लगा है river में कूद रहा है. It is not. He's jumping. He's enthusiasm. He's running out from this. That's the end of it. That is the this is what intellectualization is. Rather than concentrating on the negative, as he has concentrated on the positive aspect of it. I have told you on that when you are concentrated, look at the dead body rather than looking at them into the. We all feel bad, but he said how beautiful sea still is there. That's how we concentrate in the system. That's intellectualization. That you are trying to reduce your anxiety. Correct. Huh? Nikhil, you had some point. You had something. Yeah.
तो सेम थोड़ा सा मतलब I was जो लिंक था वो मिसिंग लग रहा था उसमें और
Have you
somewhat then I realized yeah I mean
Linking देखो you cannot afford it. आप उसको देखकर when it's the story, imagine how well you are in a position. Imagine that is the system, isn't it? Okay. Read the next one. Was it the picture? Yes or no? Okay. Akash, read it. Akash.
Suresh was back to his village after he completed his MBA and decided he wanted to meet his childhood friend Sunita. He went to her place, but when he did, he saw Sunita. Sunita was in distress. After inquiring Sunita, she opened up. She was getting married, and her husband's family wanted a lump sum money for dowry, which they did not afford, which they could not afford.
Okay, Akash. How many lines have passed by now?
The 5 lines, sir.
Tell me how many lines have passed?
So 5, sir.
In 5 lines, what has hero done? Except for going and meeting his girlfriend, Sunita. Is it?
Not girlfriend, sir.
Girlfriend.
He's
What
getting married,
girlfriend?
sir.
Why? What is there? I'll take it that way. Understand? I have talked about that consumer needs. Did I talk about it or not?
Yes.
sir.
What does it mean? Okay, notwithstanding same. Had the problem with sign, you say now in the after 5 days, he said dowry hai. That's end of it. So 5 land resources have been wasted till now. Okay, go ahead. आगे चलो. आगे पढ़ो.
Husband's family wanted a lump sum money for dowry, which they could not afford. Suresh took up the matter and convinced Sunita's parents about the ills of the practice. They were convinced, and Sunita later got married to a much progressive family and led a happily married life.
Okay. So what is the contribution of the hero? What is the contribution of the hero? Convincing girls' parents not to marry the girl to the boy who is asking for dowry. What is your contribution? The one word, convincing the girl's parent not to give dowry. That's all. For that, would you become an officer? Which 15 qualities emerge from there? Tell me, bolo na. अरे यार इसको दिस इज कॉल्ड केक वॉक. जब चाकू से काटते हैं ना, केक कट जाता है, वही हालत है. यू आर कट इन 1000 पीसेस. नवीन.
Akash was a newly joined doctor in a hospital in Bangalore. For a few months, his mother visited him at Bangalore. He took her mother to sightseeing in a park. At the park, he saw a lady who was having a migraine attack. He gave the lady some water and some acupressure treatment. After 15 minutes, the lady felt better and she thanked the Akash. His mother asked about this, so he told her that it is a new kind of medical practice which he learned at the work recently.
Okay. So for giving a medicine to a lady who is suffering from migraine, you should be made an officer. That is the job which will be performed even by a sweeper. You go and ask, you go to a village. I know you people are not going to village. तुम खाली सर के रहने वाले हो. Go to village, even all the small little practice वहां के जो है ना, वैद्य होते हैं, वैद्य पुर्जा देने वाला, वो आपको देगा ऐसा मेडिसिन. घर में दादी अम्मा दे देगी आपको. And was he carrying the medicine in his pocket or what? To migraine?
Sir, I have written he gave some acupressure treatment. It's not a medicine.
So acupressure, acupressure क्या? What is it? A new tech?
Sir, he told her mother that he learned this thing newly.
What is his action? Tell me what is his action? How did he treat the lady?
Sir, she gave the lady some acupressure treatment.
So in acupressure it is okay. So now for giving the acupressure, all जितने भी आपका physiotherapist वाले हैं, they should all make an officer, isn't it?
Sir, physiotherapy is a different thing. Acupressure is a different thing.
You go and ask every physiotherapist, they know what is acupressure. He's been taught about it. अब बाबा रामदेव सबको बताता है, यहाँ पर पैन पे दबा दो, पंखे में दबा दो, तुमको कुछ नहीं होगा. What are you people writing, Naveen? Is it the way to go about it? After talking so much, if you come to this level, I think I give up. Okay, Tani.
Rashmika and Suresh, both working in TCS Bangalore, were having complications conceiving a child even after 3 years of marriage. Rashmika was quite tense. Suresh tells her about IVF to be done from a renowned hospital in Bangalore and get an appointment. All tests were done. Rashmika was able to conceive and was asked to stay at home and take rest. Suresh opts for 9 months of work from home to take care of her, timely used to take her for checkups, planned her a schedule for medicines and meals. They had a healthy baby girl.
Okay, very nice. What does it mean? You show the figure of imagination. Is it Kani?
Yes, sir.
What's your name? Sorry, what's my pronunciation? Is it what is your name? How should I call you?
Sir, you're not audible.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, sir.
Now, what is your name?
Sir, I'm not able to hear you.
Your voice is breaking.
Hello, can you hear me now?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Okay. So what I'm trying to put across is very simple. That what is your name? Tell me what is your full name?
So whose
Is
name? Sir, your voice is breaking
what?
actually.
What is your name? I said. Sunny.
So my name, sir, I'm
Yeah.
Kritika.
Kritika, okay. So that we got written as Kritika. Kritika, just tell
Yes,
me
sir.
now, is it a fig of imagination?
Sorry, sir?
Is it a fig of imagination?
No,
IVF,
sir.
you're asking for they are the all social problems
Yes.
started. Who's the hero? You are a girl, hero should be of same age and sex. Okay.
Yes, sir.
So now you being a girl, your hero, you are the lady. You are the lady who is supposed to be the hero. So you have given up. When I take you as a hero, that is the Kritika as the hero, as the lady as the hero, what has done? They were unable to conceive a child and they went to the doctor, the IVF was done and they conceived a child and 9 months husband has helped her. Okay. Which qualities emerge out of 15 qualities? Out of 15 qualities, which qualities emerge?
Sir, as a husband or as a lady?
I can
In
tell
that
you,
picture.
you decide first and foremost. If
So,
I take, even if as a husband, what has he done? He has taken the wife to the hospital, to the doctor, and he
yes,
has
sir.
taken 9 months of work from home.
Work from home.
Okay. At what cost?
Sir, yes, sir.
At what cost? His own career?
The child.
Yeah. He 9 months, in 9 months, the
Yes,
company,
sir.
company gives you to work from home. It means,
Mhm.
and what has he done except for looking after his wife? Could he find alternative solution? Could he find another solution? Yes or no?
Apart
Yes.
from work from home, it's possible.
Yeah. It's impossible because no one will give it to you.
Yes,
Corona time is separate issue. Corona time is the first time for 9 months people are working from home.
Yes, sir.
Then, even if it's working, which qualities emerge? First and foremost, is it effective intelligence? No.
No.
Secondly, do they come under pressure or not? Anxiety has come into play. Both of them, yes or no? Because 3 months they
Yes,
couldn't
sir.
afford to conceive a child. That's the way the problem has come into play. Is it or not?
Yes, sir.
So they have
Yes,
come
sir.
under tremendous pressure. They couldn't afford to find a solution. The anxiety is taken to engulf them. And that anxiety has ensured that they will leave the work and they come back to the system. Can you do the same thing when you join services?
No, sir.
Then what? So what is the use? Reasoning ability is gone. You want to project yourself to become an officer and see what you have done. Okay, beyond that, could he organize the things better? He could have arranged for nurses, he could have arranged for his own parents. Why couldn't he afford to do that?
Yes, sir.
Then why couldn't he do it? So the problem comes, it is just on the, as I said, it is not writing the story is important, it is understanding what qualities emerge that is important. Okay? Am I right?
Yes, sir.
So, okay. Let's do the two stories that we are following. Read Kritika now. Read it.
Rahul, a student of a 20-year boy, was very interested in mountaineering. He wanted to scale the. Sir, it's the same.
Okay, it's the same story. It says okay,
Yes,
by mistake. Okay, read it now. Read this story.
Ram was studying in class 12th. One day he saw a girl of 11th crying. He asked the girl her problem.
You are
The
not.
girl said,
Yeah, what is it?
आवाज रुक गया था सर.
the
Okay,
girl
huh.
said she was new to school. She was a Tamil medium student and good in academics, but with medium in English. It was difficult for her to understand things. Ram said not to worry and taught her to understand, speak, and write English with wholehearted interest. The girl also learned English and got the first mark in the class. On the day of Raksha Bandhan, she tied Rakhi to Ram and showed her gratitude and thanked him for his caring.
So that's one of the things. Now, imagine this story is better than yours. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
That's exactly what is that. Okay. Now read this. Read this story. Who will Naveen read it?
Kapil is a good student of class 12. He is also a good painter. Once in his school, there was a painting competition held. All the students participated in the competition. Kapil made a photo of still scene of Ramayana where Ma Sita is comforted by Hanuman. Kapil's art was selected as the best painting and he qualified for the district level. In the district level championship, Kapil drew a Madhubani painting. The DM of his district, Madhubani, was so happy that he made the painting as an ambassador of the Madhubani paintings.
Okay. Now, what does it indicate? A very small story, but this indicates a lot of interest of the individual, quality of the hero. He is the person, first is art loving. Secondly, क्या होता है? He is the person who is the pressure, that anxiety which has been created by looking at the girl, he has diverted it off. Yes or no? Correct? Thirdly, what he is talking about Madhubani arts and system is the culture. I have talked about cultural coherence. So it is, he has got a cultural coherence. What? Does it have a cultural coherence or not? Bolo na haan ya haan, not bolo. That is
Yes, sir, it has. It has.
So
Yes,
that is what is done. Very simple thing now. Those people who are from Bihar probably understand this Madhubani art is the heart. It is now being recognized as a system, but it has been there everywhere. So very small conveys a lot of meaning to the system. Okay.
I have a query.
Yeah.
Regarding that story only. I mean, it has this and everything, but somehow, I mean, again, relation to that particular picture, थोड़ा सा connect नहीं हो रहा sir.
The connect हो रहा है ना, because he's talking about, he's drawing a picture of Sita. हम convince रहा था. He said his perspective, Hanuman could afford to take any shape. When he has met Sita, he has not met as Hanuman. He's met as a human person, isn't it? And Hanuman could take any shape. We go back to the mythology, then they will understand related to that.
Got it, sir.
So that's exactly, you have to go beyond it. When you talk about the story, you have to go beyond all this particular system. Is there anything negative? First and foremost, we must ensure there is no. Is there any negativity?
No, sir.
If there is no negativity, at least then I'm at least at the zero level. We talks about culture. He talks about convincing the people, talking about the Sita. It means that is ability to influence group. All this comes into play. Okay. Let me just all these boys. They are only joined. They must be from off. Now. Okay. Is it the third one? Read it now, Akash.
So Geeta is in her 30s and she used to be a really good Kathak dancer in her childhood. She decided she wanted to explore her talents again and compete for a show which was near. Her husband was really supportive. Her husband was really supportive about it.
Okay,
so
how many lines are passed now? Hold it. How many lines are passed, Akash?
So I'm on the fourth line.
In fourth line, what have you said? She wanted to give the Kathak performance, isn't it? That's all.
Like take up Kathak again and perform. Yes, sir.
So that's only one. The problem only one. This is the Kathak. She wanted to perform Kathak dance. That's the end of it. Okay, beyond that, आगे चलो.
Her husband. So she used to practice really hard when her husband was out for work, as she did not have much time to prepare, and the competition was tough. During practice, she often used to pass out of fatigue. In the competition, she nailed her performance and won the competition.
What is pass out of fatigue? What does it mean?
Passed out of fatigue.
So what does it mean? That's exactly. Passed out of fatigue. What does it mean?
She used to practice really hard, sir.
It counts. Which English you are talking about?
Sir?
Which is this English? Which is passed out of fatigue. What does it mean?
Low physical stamina.
So from there, how do you say physical stamp? What does it mean now? बताओ ने ये कहाँ से which English talks about it? Yeah, now which कहाँ से मुहावरा आ गया ये? Which is the phrase? Passed out of fatigue. Go beyond that. Did a line before that?
In the
Read.
competition, she nailed her performance and won the competition.
He
Nailed her performance.
nailed her. What is nailed her performance? So simply you are imagining things you have achieved a success. That's end of it. Where is the action? बताओ ना, what action she used to practice when her husband was out, isn't it? That's all. Is there anything beyond that? Who is the hero? Girl? And who are you? You're a boy? If you made a hero as a boy, what does it mean? I had told you last time also, the dynamic quality gets questionable. Did I tell you last time also? No, you had last time also, you made 2 stories as a girl, 2 or 3 stories with the girl as a hero, isn't it? So which quality you must, बताओ ना, out of 15 quality, you must be able to realize which quality you must. Bolo, tell me now, I think it's a resource you cannot afford. You have to think what you're gaining. If I spend money, I should get worth my money, but the money I spend. You spend time, 4 minutes to write a story. I just want to know which quality you must. Naveen.
Sir, Shivam was an NCC cadet. One summer he was going in the market. He saw that a lady got heat stroke and fainted. Shivam gave her some water and electrol. Later that day, Shivam made a group of his NCC friends and decided to start a water camp in the market. He purchased some earthen pots and next day his group started the camp. He made for his group for the week. Later he was appreciated by his senior in the NCC for this camp.
Okay, better story, but it should be sustainable. Why only water? How many places? Was it 21 place or was it many places? How many friends did he have? This story could have made powerful. Looking at the peak summer which is generally encountered in Kanpur around there, he decided to ensure availability of water at all places so that people don't suffer from heat stroke and other aspects which are there. He organized a group of people around there to open up a PIA. What you call PIA? That is what PIA you talk at 10 different places in Kanpur with his friends around there. He also ensured necessary resources, other things such as electoral and first aid kits are also available. In case of emergency, they could also come, but they also trained the local people. So you can make the story much more powerful.
Yes, sir.
So that's where he come into play. Yes, it is a better out of these stories. This is a better story than what you have done till now. But again, it does not give you any credit because first 4 lines have gone on looking at the heat stroke only. From where did he get that electoral? What is that? He gave that lady, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Was he carrying his pocket?
Sir, he was going through market, so he purchased.
You asked me, you are assuming that I should assume things. I don't assume things. What you write, I read. What I read, I make out the system.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Have you written anything? From where did you get? Did you write it was somewhere near the water shop? From there he went around, got to water. Was he carrying water bottle in him like a child, or did he take water from somewhere?
No, sir, I have not written this.
Super. They keep the details as much as possible.
Yes.
Okay.
Sarita was going to get her 5-year-old son from play school. While she was passing by a highway, a car hits her and runs away. She gets up, drinks water, and goes to a nearby medical clinic. From reception, she makes a call to her child's school to inform them about her being late. Later, she gets an auto to pick her child up from the school and comes back home.
Tell me, Kritika, what have you gained in this story?
So I tried to show that even if she was hit by car, she somehow.
Why should he get? If my hero dies, really, am I going to defend? I'm going to die for the nation, or I'm to prevent? No, save my nation.
Should be saving.
So soldiers fight a battle to win, not to lose. Passivity enough. No, there's a negativity in the system. You've given up. You have been hit around there. You are thinking that you are doing, you've got a stamina and mental stamina, determination and all. That doesn't mean I don't want my hero to get hit. I don't want my hero to die. My hero must survive like Amitabh Bachchan. He has to perform, he has to save the nation. That's why we want officers to be there. Okay. Have you got my point?
So one question. So
Yeah.
even if the hero is being hit, somehow the hero makes a comeback on his own. Isn't it possible?
Why should hero get hit? It means he or she is careless. This carelessness.
Yes, sir.
Careless attitude. Why couldn't she afford to prevent herself? Why was she walking on the middle of the road? Or she was walking on the left-hand side or right-hand side? What are other people on the road, in the street, in the piano, help her? So many questions emerge from the system. Any doubt still?
No, sir.
Okay. Now, Naveen, read it.
Ramesh is the DM of Darbhanga district. He was going on a morning walk when he saw an accident in which a cyclist was struck by a car. Ramesh immediately went up to him. The car driver also came running to the place. Both of them took him to the side of the road. They gave him the first aid and took him to the hospital by the car. The injury was not so major and doctor told not to worry. Ramesh
Now, this is the reversal of the phenomena. Now here he assumes the person is outside, he comes and helps the person who is an accident, isn't it? Is it different?
Yes, sir. Yes,
Here
sir.
some action is been taken by the hero, is it or not?
Yes, sir.
And he can give more details. This can give more and more details as much possible. Okay. Read this, Akash.
Lakshman was a hard worker. He just completed his B engineering degree and found a job in a big company. He was given more work as he was new to the company, but that did not make Lakshman tired. He took all the work with ease, took up all the work with ease and did it cheerfully, effectively, and also submitted it on time. Soon, many workers in the office got motivated by him and did the work effectively. Uh, as the result of hard work and effective work of Lakshman and the other workers, the company's productivity increased.
Okay. Now, okay. This is the next one.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Read out. Now let's from Kritika downward. Kritika start.
Sanjeev is working in Cmde Vidyalaya as a contract faculty. He sees swelling in his right foot and goes to doctor for a checkup. He gets to know about an infection which was spreading throughout and was advised to amputate his leg to sustain. The leg was amputated and surgery was successful. While he was recovering, he starts preparing for government teacher exam, manages to clear it. After recovery, he joins as a TGT permanent faculty in the same school.
Kritika.
Yes, sir, the same issue.
Huh? What is it?
The same issue as the previous story.
Second time you are getting,
yes, sir.
He is getting hurt, he will get a bad cut, what are you going to gain? What are you going to gain?
Sorry, sir?
What are you going to gain out of this?
So my hero is the one who is getting hit or something.
Okay, Naveen, read it.
Sir, Rakesh was a student in his final year. One evening, he was going in the market. He saw that a differently abled man was selling some paintings. After talking to him, Ramesh got to know that he is a painter who lost his leg. Rakesh decided to get him a prosthetic leg. He asked his parents to give him some extra pocket money. He also told his friends to contribute. With the money collected, he got the painter a new prosthetic leg. He talked about the painter at his college, and college administration decided to put
Okay.
his paintings in the
Okay.
college.
Now we are coming better. The problem is, Naveen, why have we made it for one individual? Why can't you make it a community? He opened up a artificial limb center with the pooling of the money of the people where anyone can afford to looking at the problem. Then that's a sustainable effect, isn't it? It's one time situational success.
Yes, sir.
So it is a positive, this empathy, I was talking the three types of empathy: cognitive and empathy, and then emotional empathy and cognitive, empathetic concern. Okay, you got empathy, but it cannot be related to only one person. It has to be a system. You have to create an
Yes.
empire.
Yes, sir.
Can you create an empire or not?
Yes, sir.
Create an empire. Create a story which is long term. If in the 4 minutes, 4 minutes is a big time. You have to pack it up. Last two story, you have come to positivity. Very nice. But that will not help you. You have to go much beyond it.
Yes.
Akash.
Sir, Shashi was serving the army, and during a conflict at Galwan, Shashi fought vigilantly, but unfortunately lost his right leg in the battle. He was honored for his bravery, and he also received a Shaurya Chakra for it. When he got back home, he was shown a lot of sympathy, which he did not enjoy and wanted to do more. So he decided to take tuitions for children in the village who could not afford, and also prepare for different defense exams. Now he takes pride in the number of officers he has mentored and molded.
Akash, I have told you I'm unhappy with the negativity of the thought and ideas. Yeah, I don't take it that way. Correct? Yes or no? Are you happy with that? बोलना हाँ या ना बोलो. Did Akash पढ़ो.
For Jawahar is a student of class 12. He is a very studious and wants to be an engineer. He prepared for the JEE mains and advanced. In the exam, he did well and secured the first rank in India in JEE advanced. He joined in IIT Mumbai. After completion of his graduation, he got a top quality job in Google with very high salary. Jawahar had seen the problem of the differently abled people and wanted to do something for them. He opened an NGO for that and financially supported it. The NGO also got the financial support from various celebrities. Many people who were differently abled were taught skills to earn money and on their own. This NGO was recognized as a very good organization.
Except for two parts in the where he talked about high salary. That shows the need for money. That should be avoided. That should be avoided. Is it different? Okay. Now read this. Kritika, read it. Kritika, read it.
So Ganesh was a man of 24 years. He was kind-hearted. He was born with a lame leg, but he never felt he was disabled nor stopped him reaching his success. From his young age onwards, he learned everything what ordinary people can do, including swimming. He has great interest in swimming. He worked and practiced more to excel at. At last, his hard work led him to a victory at Paralympics. With a victory and the money he got, work for the people like him who are still outside with a desire to excel in life.
Much better story, yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Okay. What is the next one? Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Kritika, read it.
Vijay was going to his office. He works as a technician at BHEL Bhopal. While he was passing by a small park, he sees a small girl crying. He reaches out to her and comforts her, asking. The girl tells she's lost and can't find her mother. He takes the girl and asks people around the park, also tells the security guard. He buys her a chocolate, sits with her on bench. Later, the security guard comes with her mother. The girl becomes happy and bids him a goodbye.
कि एक बार एक लड़की को बताने के लिए you should be made an officer, isn't it? Which qualities emerge? It's a normal human aspect. You got social adaptability. That's all. Any other qualities emerge? Who found the mother? It was the security.
Security guard.
Said, what is your action? Keeping the child, giving a toffee to the child. That's all. Akash.
Karan strolling around a park for his evening walk when he heard a little girl crying, so he went to her and tried to calm her down. He asked her where her father and mother was, but she couldn't answer. He waited there for a while and realized that she was lost. So he brought her to the police station. He inquired the police about her. The police issued about a missing child in the community, while Karan and along with the child went door to door inquiring. He quickly got a call from the police that her parents were found and he got their back.
Atul was a final year student in a college. One evening he was going for a walk. He saw that a little girl was crying. He asked the girl. The girl told her that she lost her mother. Atul asked her about. She told him about her mother. Atul called some of his neighborhood friends and they all started looking for her mother. After 30-40 minutes, they found her mother and the girl was returned to her.
Okay. Read this, Navi.
Rohan is a boy of 17 years. He has a younger sister of about 10 years. She wanted to be an IS officer as she was very much inspired by Kiran Bedi. Rohan also supported her and told her to pursue her aim. In another 3 years, Rohan became an Air Force officer. He helped her sister in all way possible. He bought her necessary books and guides. He also helped her in studies whenever she needed. His sister worked for her aim day and night and finally achieved her aim. After this, both siblings opened an orphanage.
Nothing wrong, but it's all personal story. It's a personal story. Then give much credit to that. Okay. Kitka, read it.
Hanuman was a student of class 12th. On his way home from school, he found. Sir, it's gone.
Yeah.
He found the girl has lost her way to home. Hanuman said her not to cry and took her to his home, where he got her phone number and called the parents of the girl.
Okay. So it's almost the same line all of you have done, isn't it?
Yes,
Correct?
sir.
So, but the problem is, it is not the right story. It is not the right story. It's just simply one thing. Okay. Read this. Okay. Almost everyone has written the same type of story. Couldn't you afford to make it line? You are just like Mother Teresa opening up institution for all destitutes. Child around there looking at the child, or you open up this and you have witnessed all this, all the street children and all could be treated, they could be taught, they could be made to learn new things from there, and that's what they could to become a better person in life. Can you think about that or not? Yes or no? Bolo. How I mean?
Yes, sir.
Think it over. Think beyond that.
Yes, sir.
Next, Paro. Next, read it. Let me read it.
Raman was an NCC cadet. From his battalion, he was selected for a national level quiz along with his two friends. The quiz was at New Delhi. They all took train to go. Raman decided to get some more practice, so he started asking questions to his friends. They all got their knowledge refreshed. In the quiz, his team performed well and won the first position. Raman was awarded with a trophy and medals. When he came back, his senior was very happy about his victory.
Then could you talk about the way the preparation was done? You make it one event.
Sir, I have written that he started asking questions about his friends.
Asking questions, that is one-time event, isn't it? Can't you
Yes,
make it
sir.
a practice long-term? It has to have some effect.
Yes, sir.
Akash, read.
Hari is a jeweler and a very successful one. One fine day, a couple visited the store. They asked Hari what they were looking for and made Hari show them every item he had. Hari got suspicious and cross-questioned. They fumbled, and Hari realized they were here to con him. So he called his assistant to keep them busy while he called the police.
Okay, hold it, Akash. Did we talk about personality? Is it paranoid personality where you are suspicious of others or not?
Yes, sir.
What does it mean? It's a personality disorder. Kritika, read it. Kritika, read it.
Shivika was having lunch with her teammates Shreya and Ravi. They all are employed in Infosys. They were given a project which was important for their company to get investment. Shivika is the project leader. She discusses about all the
How many lines
investors.
have passed?
More than 4.
For what has the problem decided? No, decided?
So problem is to get the investors
So I can't be
for the
done.
project.
In order to get investor for this, they have decided. Why can't you have to write in one line?
I could have.
Then go ahead.
Shivika is the project leader. She discusses about all the investors, their profiles, along with their stocks. She prepares a presentation to distinguish among them and the project requirements. Next week, she presents the investors their presentation, the project info, and gets 8 out of 10 people to invest in their project.
Okay. So what is the action has been taken by the hero? That is only making a presentation. Is there anything beyond that?
No, sir.
So if for making a presentation, you should be made an officer, is it?
No, sir.
That is what it intends to. This is what you are selling yourself. Okay. Now, read this. Anyone read it?
So me?
Yeah, read it.
Mohan, Kavita, and Suchit are very good friends and studying in class 12th. Once their literature teacher gave them a task to organize a group discussion on the topic, the causes of hampering of women. They all started to prepare on the topic and also asked the volunteers on the given day. The competition was held and the students participated in that. The principal appreciated the efforts of the participants. The discussion proved to be very beneficial.
So though this could have been a situation such a, but more details are required. More details are required. Okay. Read the next one.
Raja was a student of
read it.
Class 12th. One day while playing football with his friends in the near his home, he found a gold ring. He could not find anyone in the ground other than his friends. He remembered his parents always note the number and symbol engraved in the back of the ring, so they can be found if lost. So he immediately looked for the mark and number. After inquiring many jewelry shops, at last he found the rightful owner of the ring. He then returned the ring and also said him not to repeat this again. The man thanked Raja.
Okay. Read the next one.
Rita notices smoke coming from his neighbor while she was preparing for her office. She comes out to see fire on the first floor of the apartment. She immediately calls 102 and 108 and informs the security guard about incident. She asks people around to gather the mattresses from their home for safe exit of the people stuck inside from the balcony. They were able to save 2 people and a kid. The ambulance was waiting. They were admitted and the injured were taken to the nearby hospital.
So the mattress was there for people to jump in, is it?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. What is action CS only? What is action CS only? Rank 102, 108, whatever is there, and plus organized matrices. Again, question of doubt comes in where? Courage comes into question, isn't it? No action was taken. Did anyone try to put out the fire within limited sources available? No.
No, sir.
Then what is it? Okay. Next, read it. Read.
Rohit was a final year student in his summer vacation. He came back at his home. He got to know that her neighbor friend Raju's brother was getting married. One day he saw that from the burner some tent caught fire.
How
Rohit,
many lines passed?
sir, 4 lines have passed.
4 lines में क्या हुआ? अभी तो problem define नहीं हुआ. This is the first time burner is caught fire, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
You're wasting your time. Your problem should be defined in first 3 lines maximum.
Yes, sir. Yes,
8 to 10 lines should be there for action. 1 or 2 lines for the future action. That is the end conclusion.
Yes, sir.
आगे बढ़ो.
Some tent caught fire. Rohit took water pipe from his house and started pouring it. After the
Please
fire
put on a video,
got
please, all of you. Please put on a video because I don't know. I dislike having the black. Please put on a video. Okay, go ahead.
after fire got some cool down, he disconnected the gas cylinder and extinguished it with a wet cloth sheet. Raju's family thanked him and a big accident was prevented.
अब ये बताओ मेरे को, घर में खाली यहाँ पर गीला कपड़ा डालने के लिए you are doing a great job, isn't it? Others are fools there. Correct? क्या भाई नवीन?
Gas cylinder पे
gas और किसी को पता नहीं है ना? You are the only person who knows about it. Unfortunate, yeah. Don't become that known. अच्छा जा रहा था, again suddenly you just take out. Okay, read it. Read this story.
Raja is a student of class 12. He is very keen to read articles related to the environment. He read the articles which told that though the industries are helping to grow the GDP of country leaps and bounds, but at the same time environment is getting affected by them. He researched on the topic and thought to do something. In the science exhibition, he made a model industry in which the gaseous as well as solid waste could be neutralized before releasing it outside. This model was liked by all and forwarded to state government. The government forwarded it for National Science Exhibition. His model was appreciated by all and adopted by all the industries.
Couldn't he afford to take this further? That this model got implemented. That's how that's segment. Let's try to talk about it. Is it a different story?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Akash, read your story and read this after that.
So Ravi is a young NCC cadet who was walking to get some groceries for his mother. On his way, he saw a lot of commotion around, and when he inquired, he saw a building was on fire. A couple outside was shouting that the child is trapped in it. Ravi wrapped his coat around and went in because the fire department was still not there. After scouring through the building, he heard a child screaming. He picked her up and got her out. He was then acclaimed for his efforts.
Okay. Now this story could have been made different. In the sense, he went inside, he organized it with the help of the fire with the local resources available. He also called up the fire in between. He covered himself with a blanket and child. Rather than don't ask for a claim. Okay. Read your story first. Akash.
Sir, I read my story only. That
you read
was my
story. Okay.
Yes.
Chalo. Read this story.
So when Arjun was watching a movie, the theater screen caught fire. All the people started to panic. He remembered what his science teacher said about the formation of highly toxic carbon dioxide formed in the presence of fire in those places. Carbon monoxide. He immediately, with the help of his friends, stopped the people from panicking and made the people to exit the theater in an order. Then they set off the fire with the help of the fire extinguisher. All the people thanked Arjun for his presence of mind.
Okay, Dutch. Dutch. Is that available?
Yes, sir.
That's up to but now. Tell me now, till now, what, because you have not written the story. Have you gained something?
Yes, sir.
Are you understanding what you are trying to say? Yes or no?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I have understood.
Okay. Don't worry. Now, read the next story. Who will read out now? Okay. Akash, read it. Oh, sit down. Yeah. Get it later. Read it. Read the story. Akash.
Sushil was out for his morning run, and while he heard someone scream, he saw that a lady was by a pond, panic-stricken. She rushed to Sushil and begged to save her dog, who couldn't get out of the water. Sushil quickly sprung into action and jumped into the water to get the dog out. He finally saved the dog, and it was a close call. The lady was really thankful to Sushil.
Okay. Now, for saving a dog, you should be awarded Padma Shri. Right, Akash? Yeah.
Sir, I didn't get.
For saving the dog, you should get Padma Shri.
Yes, sir. Like.
Huh? Or Bharat Ratna. Is it your story? You have to become an officer, or saving your dog has to become an officer? What are you people trying to do? If I have got empathy towards the dog, what do you do? Go to Naga Battalion. They will eat up all the bloody dogs. What are you trying to do? Naveen.
Sir, Madhav was a newly joined employee in a company. One day he went out to explore his city. He went with he took some of his office friends. They all were walking. Suddenly they saw that a little boy fell into the lake. Madhav jumped into the lake and saved the boy. He noticed that the boy fell because he was playing near the lake and the railing was broken at that point. He blocked the railing. Then he went to the maintenance office and lodged a complaint about the broken railing. The railing was repaired then in some time.
Negativity क्यों लिखा तुमको? Naveen, you are going slightly better now. Again, you're gone by the same system. Can't you think about that? The mother is trying to teach her child how to swim.
Yes, sir.
Can't you think? तेरे बगल में गंगा है, गंगा के पानी में नहाने क्यों नहीं गया नहीं तुम लोग? What is this? एक कुत्ते को चाहता है, एक आदमी बचाने करता है, रेलिंग ठीक करता है. That's all. Kritika, read it.
Ravi and Sumita were having summer vacations. They together decided to go to Gauri Ghat early morning. Sumita was a good swimmer, whereas Ravi asked her to teach him swim. First, he takes Ravi to the pool to get her fear out and makes him understand the basics. They go 4 days a week with swimming gears and learn the basics. After 3 weeks, he was able to learn quite well and thanks Sumita for the help.
Okay. Now the problem is this shows your own fear. Do you swim, Kritika?
No, sir.
So it shows your own fear, unfortunately. You are afraid of swimming?
Sir, a bit.
But that's exactly it comes
Yes,
out
sir.
from there. So that's the problem around there. Nothing wrong. Okay, you could have make it better around there. That's no point. Yes.
Yes, sir.
It is better what we have written till now. I think it's okay. Read this.
Ravi was playing football with his friends when a girl came running to them saying that her younger sister was drowning in nearby river. Ravi along with his friends rushed to the spot as they knew the art of swimming, so all of them jumped into the river. After a minute, they took the girl out of the river. They gave her the required first aid.
Okay, read this next one.
Naveen was on the way to the birthday party of his friend. On the way, he found someone drowning in water. He immediately jumped into the
It's
water.
the same story. Okay, read this. Is there any different?
Raman was a boy of age 17. He was very fond of swimming. So he took part in the inter-school swimming competition. He practiced every day hard and learned types of styles to swim. On the day of the competition, he came first and broke all the records. Also got selected to district level swimming competition. For this, he prepared well and his family also supported him in all the way. There also he came first. He goes on to participate in national games and also got a coach. He learned new skills from coach and also won it. He
Can-
goes further to represent.
Okay, can you see something different?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay, read the next one.
Ravi is a national level high jump gymnast getting training from Tatya Sports Academy in Bhopal. His national level championship was 3 months and it was his dream to go to Olympics and become an international level gymnast. He wakes up at 4 a.m. and goes to academy gym, do stretching, yoga to increase the flexibility. He follows a strict diet and proper sleeping schedule. On the nationals competition, he performs well and secures first rank
Okay.
to be
Better-
selected as an international level
Bet-
champion.
Better story. Now the Prodi could have taken the help of all the coaches. जितना भी होता है ना, Sai of Sports Authority of India, they took the coach again. Give more detail. Okay?
Yes, sir.
Better story. Better story. This is the
Yes.
first better story from you. Okay. This
Yes,
brings out a lot of qualities. Okay. Akash, read it.
Yashwant is a very active student and was considered an all-rounder in every sport he played. He always wanted to take up athletics, and pole vaulting was something he was intrigued by. But he never got to take it up because there were no facility around him.
How many
Which
lines
had-
passed? Akash, how many lines passed?
So 5, sir.
5 lines. क्या कहते हो? What do you tell me? Anything in your no? It's a garbage. If these 5 lines are garbage, then every word is a resource to you. It should contribute towards your, indicating your good personality. Yes or no? आगे चलो. Read it.
Facility around him which did not have poles or the mat, so he decided to make one for himself. Instead of mat, he used bamboo for the pole. He quickly started to participate, started to get a feel for it, and started to be good at it. He participated in state championship, but came second. Looking at his dedication, he was quickly called up in Sai and groomed to be an elite.
So the problem
athlete
is
in pole
you're
vaulting.
going to write that the first few lines goes against you. When you talk about he had no clue towards what is the pole vault. Why did he want to join pole vault? What was the reason for it? You have not given causal. It's a causal coherence. Why? Out of so many schools, why did you pick up the pole vault? You have to give a reason. I mean,
So the game is pole vaulting only. The picture.
what
This
is
is
it?
pole vaulting, sir.
What?
So in
You read the first 3 lines. Read first 3 lines again.
No, sir. Like I told, like you were asking.
Read first 4 lines again, then we'll come back. Read your first 4 lines.
Yashwant is a very active student, as was considered an all-rounder in every sport he played. But he always wanted to take up athletics, and pole vault was something he was intrigued by.
Intrigued.
But-
What is intrigued by? What is intrigued by?
Interested.
Intrigued by is something which you see why this happens. He's not interested. What does intrigue mean? Google yourself meaning. Intrigue is confused. You don't know what is how it is happening. That is intrigue. It is not the interested. That's exactly I want to say. Use the word judiciously. Everything is meaning. I don't go to the complete story. I look at the one word and that gives you what you are. Okay. Yeah. Next. Yeah.
Sir, Sumit was a college student. One day his HOD announced about the sports meet. Sumit was interested in athletics. He started preparing for it. With continuous practice and guidance from coach, he won the first place in his college. He was selected for inter-college sports meet. His HOD gave him some extra hour to practice in the ground. He practiced well and won the inter-college meet. From there, he went to represent his university and won the gold for his university.
You were muted.
No, I'm unmuted. My granddaughter was trying to teach me something because how I should present myself. So that's the reason. So they have become much more smarter than me. Thank you. Okay. So now, so what is it now? They read this story now. What he said, maybe read it. I couldn't afford to get it.
Shivam is a student of class 12. He is very good in athlete, or he is a very good athlete of his college. And had won gold medal in pole vault and inter-house athletics competition. Today he was to participate in district level championship for which he had practiced day and night. Shivam won gold medal in the competition. He again won the gold and represented Bihar in national games. In the national games, he won the gold medal and he was selected for India. He got so many prizes and gifts, money.
Is it getting chronologically? Yes or no? This is called chronological coherence.
Sir.
Yeah, bolo.
In the previous story, in the first two lines, firstly he mentioned that he was studying in class 12. In the next line, he mentioned he is in college.
So that's it. He goes beyond that, no?
Sir, I mean, in Bihar plus two is college. 10th के बाद ही college हो जाता है.
And उसके बाद he's going ahead. That is the 12th he started, no? After 1 year or two, in order to participate, he'll take a year or two, isn't it? Would he take or not? Would he go to college or not?
Yes, sir. He will go.
He will go, no? See, it is not time that he started, that is 12th.
Yes, sir.
Beyond that, where will he go?
To the college.
Okay. Now, read the next one. Read it.
So Lalit was a final year student. One day he saw that there was election of municipal corporation was going to happen soon. After coming home, he talked about this to his neighbors. They were not interested in voting. So Lalit made a group of his friends and made a play to show the importance of voting. They all performed the play and his neighbors understood the importance of voting and election, and the neighbor went to the voting.
Okay, so you have tried to influence people to vote, isn't it? Okay.
Yes, sir.
Which qualities you must?
Sir, persuading other people.
Which is the persuasion is a quality in 15 qualities?
No, sir.
Ability to influence a group.
Yes. Ability to influence the group is there.
Yes,
so
sir.
Only is that what is the first quality? And by performing art and say drama, you proceeded others. What are other activities you have undertaken?
Sir, he also gathered his friends and then he
friends
made a play.
What have their friends done?
Sir, they all did the play.
Yeah.
Sir, they all did the play.
So play is it only one? There's a situation, one-time event.
Yes, sir.
What is the long-term effect? Which qualities emerge? Could he done it? Could he have done it better? He could have taken the election commissions. What were they? That state election commission is there, isn't it or not?
Yes, sir.
There were guidelines. They would have to. They have so many motivation lectures are there, and some other skits are performed. There are advertisements are there. He goes from door to door around. So many activities can be done.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Come on.
Yes, sir.
And secondly, please run away from politics and voting.
Okay,
I don't want to do that.
Okay, sir.
I was expecting that you will do. Now you probably would have started become a ward commissioner. Very nice. I wanted you to do that. Don't become ward commissioner.
Yes, sir.
Now, Kritika, read it.
Rishabh is the election chief and is given the responsibility to conduct elections in Naxalite-prone Sukma village of Chhattisgarh. He arranges CRPF to protect the perimeter of the election booths and appoints various officers to look out and report the malpractices during voting. He organized a campaign a week prior to aware people for voting and not be scared of Naxalites and assured them protection. Elections were smoothly conducted and villagers were happy to choose their representatives.
Who talks about it? Person who
Sorry,
has
sir?
declared himself.
Sorry, sir.
Those who talk about this Naxalites and all, they are first is anti-social activities. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Why should we talk about it? Number one. Number two, you're talking, don't be afraid. Who talks about he or she is herself afraid of it? It goes against you.
Yes, sir.
Okay, it goes against you. What is your action? By ordering CRPF to do it, CRP only provides the protection. Election
Yes,
is
sir.
conducted by someone else.
Yes,
You
sir.
have taken no action onto that. So that shows ignorance of knowledge, ignorance about the subject. Police protection, and it is the local police, local administration, local DCP and whosoever part that they are the people who are responsible for it. And it is conducted by administration. This authority, it comes to play. PRP are only supposed to give protection. That's the end of it. They are not supposed to protect it.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Akash, read it. Akash, read it.
Shyam was in his evening walks and he led a pretty humble life, nothing extraordinary. He was walking by a bank where he saw a long queue. Looking at it, something struck Shyam's mind. He felt that he wanted to do something different, something ambitious, and not just settle with the crowd.
Okay.
So he
How
started
many lines have passed by now?
So I'm in the 6th line.
In the 6th line, what if you got the inspiration to do something different rather than standing in the line? It or not? You got the inspiration to do something different rather than standing in line within the 6 lines, isn't it? Anything beyond that? Bolo na.
No, sir.
Then what did you use? 6 lines is resource associated. Go ahead.
So he started a small sports management company as he loves sports, and eventually the company became quite successful and is associated now with many famous athletes. Akash,
you yourself being a sports person on there, having played basketball, you have done nothing about the sports. You return, he became a sports company. How? What resources required? How was it organized? Where was it organized? How many people participated? What are those details? Where are those details? Read this. Read the story given here.
Kavinandan was a very good student. He got a job in an MNC as he was good in all the fields. Since he was from a village, when he went back to his village, he saw many talented youngsters jobless. He thought to open an industry of his company in his village. He talked about the facility of the village as it was situated beside a river. There was availability of electricity and there were many dynamic youngsters waiting for the jobs. CEO liked the idea, and in the meeting, the decision was taken formally. The industry was opened in the village and the people got employed.
Okay. He could have get a bit more details. Is it different? He's not using your resource. He uses someone else's resources. So he could have said, he could have got more involved. He could have given more details why the people are required. He could have talked about resources are available, skill levels are available, their own materials are required, and it becomes a powerful story. Okay. Now read the 11th one. 11th story. Read, Akash. Akash, read it.
Manoj and his friends were on their way back from school when they noticed that the track was almost about to break down as it was not wielded properly. So Manoj, along with his friends, orchestrated a plan. They got a few hammers and started beating down on the track to put it back in place, while the others went to the station to inform the station master about it. They were able to avert a major catastrophe that could have happened.
Okay. Now, he will school. Where are you today, Akash? What's your age? What is your age?
25.
25.
25.
And his school is what? What years? What age? Tell me now, Bolon, his school is what? 18?
Yes, sir.
So now you've got regression. Mental age goes beyond, is less than the chronological age. Secondly, what have you done? Can you put a railway line track online of your own? Is it going to save? So the action that you have taken is itself not in order. Kritika, read it.
Ramesh is a Group D worker going for a normal track vigilance near Hoshangabad railway station. He notices a dent and breakage in the fish plates and immediately informs the maintenance cell about it. A train was scheduled to pass after 30 minutes, was halted, and workers were sent to track and was repaired. Ramesh was promoted to Group C and was praised for his on-time vigilance.
Very nice. You want to become, Kritika, you want to become officer, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
And what is the hero is doing? He's Group D person, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
So the aim is low. Is aim low or not?
Yes, sir.
So what will you gain? Secondly, only for informing you should get promoted, isn't it? What action will you take it? You have gone inspection and you have done that is part of duty.
Yes,
Anything
sir.
extraordinary?
No, sir.
Then what? Okay. Who has not read it? Naveen.
Sir, Jeet was a newly appointed engineer in Indian Railways. One day he went to walk near his area. He saw that few rail tracks have got cracked due to weather. He called and informed the station master about it. The station master stopped the trains at that track. Jeet took workers and went to repair those cracks. After getting the tracks repaired, the track was started again, and an accident was prevented.
So what is so great? Is a normal routine. That is his job. What
Yes, sir.
accident? What extraordinary has he done? Tell me, bolo na.
Nothing, sir.
Nothing so. For
It
routine
was
job, related job, you have been paid for it. क्या तुम लोग करो यार, तुम लोग. Read this.
Rahul is a boy of 17 years. One day he was going for his morning walk. Suddenly, Rahul saw something. The railway track passing through the region was broken at a place. He knew that Rajayani Express would be passing by that way after some time. He went to the nearby halt and informed the station master so that the train could be stopped before time. Thereafter, some of the workers came to the site and to make the track, Rahul along with his friends.
Okay. Now read this.
Mahindran was a student of class 12. And his friends were going on a route march to the nearby village to spread awareness on education. On the way, they crossed the railway track. They found the track to be disjoint at a place. Mahindran immediately informed the security at the post. Later, workers from railway were sent to repair the railway line. The workers melted the cracked line and thanked Mahindran for his presence of mind.
Nothing great. Can you think of something better stories? You being an engineer going around there, he saw the crack coming back during the winter season. He required a change of material itself. They in turn, they went to the R&D, what was that, Gorakhpur and other places along which are supposed to be there. And they organized better material and this lot of trial and error. The rail track itself was replaced so that it can crack in the system. Very simple. I'm just trying to put it for something different.
Sir.
Yeah.
I think one approach I can also like a person was a newly appointed in railway engineer. He invented a new smart system for the tracks, so tracks can be diverted automatically.
What that's hold it. Earlier there used to be the tracks used to be very short length. The long
Yes, sir.
tracks, which are the welding technique, new welding technique, they brought it, because this was brought in the 80s, 90s. That's how the
Yes, sir.
long tracks started coming to place. So that's like be ingenuitive. I'm trying
Yes,
to
sir.
tell you, being so aim is not to write a story. Even I will write a story. Aim is to bring out 15 qualities. Okay. Now,
Yes, sir.
tell me your blank story.
So Ramesh was a newly hotel management graduate. He decided to open a new bakery in his hometown. He started making baked goods from his home and started promoting in his neighbor. His baked goods got good response, so he bought a new big oven and started making cakes also. The cakes were very much appreciated by his customers, and he decided to took some loan from the bank and he started his bakery. Within few months, he paid off the loan and got his bakery running.
When you are going to send me, okay.
Sir, it will get.
When should I receive the cake? Tell me. क्या मिल रहा है तुम लोग? Okay, entrepreneurship is okay. You want to become an officer, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
अब बेकरी खाना बना के कुक बना के क्या कहते हैं? I know that you have written because you are for hotel management.
Yes,
So that
sir.
has come obviously to you. Think about better position. There's nothing wrong. You
Yes,
have
sir.
tried to give it details around there, but it's no integrated perspective.
Sir, actually, many of my friends and juniors are also starting their businesses, so that's from how I perceive this story.
Naveen, I just understand. There is nothing wrong in this. I'm trying to think, being ingenious is okay. Being entrepreneur is okay.
Yes,
Can
sir.
we afford to? Now, what is the price? You could have brought not from there. He said, looking at the unemployment opportunity, especially in the COVID time, there is a lot of jobs. In order to create a job, he, along with his friends, started with this particular system, and that's then became a power story.
Yes, sir.
You have to have logic, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Can you afford to have logic or not?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now read it, Akash.
Ravi was getting back from office. When he came close to his house, he heard loud cries from his locality. He was asked to get in one of the houses. He asked what happened, and they told the tiger had got loose as it was being transferred to the zoo, and the zookeepers were actively looking for it. He quickly got in touch with one of them and took him to a place which only Ravi knew, which was the highest point in the locality. They navigated and spotted the tiger. Then Ravi, along with the zookeeper, were able to lure it.
What
and
has Ravi
corner
done? What Ravi has taken the people who are trying to hunt for the tigers on the top of the hill, isn't it? That's all. What is his contribution? बताना. बेटे एक समझो कि कहानी हमको नहीं लिखना है, हमको क्या निकालना है? I have to bring out more 15 qualities. Every quality, every story must bring out 15 qualities. Okay, Kritika, read it.
Trivika is in class 12th and preparing for JEE mains. It was a dream to study in an IIT. She makes herself a schedule 3 months prior to her exam on 9th of April. She daily used to solve mock tests and checking her preparation, and at the end of the day, 2 hours of revision. While working upon her weak areas in physics and joining an academy crash course, she was able to perform well in mocks and secures a good rank. She goes stress-free for exam, performs well, scores 250 marks, and secures herself a seat in the prestigious institution.
Okay, is it your own story?
Yes, sir.
So this is, I said you will not write your own story. Okay, now what has happened? What is your age, Kritika?
Sir, I'm 22.
22. And what age did you appear in class 12?
Sir, I was 17.
17. So what has happened now? So 5 years down the drain is
5 years.
The same year, same mentality remains the same. Still you are trying to remain the past glory.
No, sir.
Then still this is what it indicates. No, you are trying to still remain the past. Secondly, it talks about the personal money, nothing great. Your 15 qualities should emerge. Is it emerging? No.
No, sir.
तो क्या फायदा होगा उसको लिखने का?
Yes.
Okay. As I said, now look at it. Let's not let I have told you, but you must talk about the form of the story. Use your stories to be complex. Your story should have literary sense. You should have sense of reality. As a coherence of thought that is temporal, causal, and temporally organizing thoughts in clear chronological way. Relation between events and events effect, that is causal, thematic, and that is what is coming. Next comes the cultural coherence. Understanding the instruction, that is in 4 minutes, write on half a page. Half a page. You must perceive the image. Your image must be integrated to the story. You must describe story. Are you writing story or describing the picture? You must give as much details as possible. You more hero that you create, all of you create a single hero. There is no group. As a very possible, think of a group rather than individual. All of you till now have done this single hero. Then language use, as you were saying, at the Akash was using it, and his meaning becomes different. Who is the hero? What is the feeling and tone of the story? Feeling and action of the story. Is there any need? What is need comes out from there. Attitude of the hero. Then comes your adequate view of the outside world. Is it socially, morally, emotionally, intellectually correct? Anything to do it. And theme. You should there are 3 descriptive levels. Then how do I interpret? I was trying to interpret your own story. Miscellaneous. Now you must talk about the team where possible, not only individual. You must set your story in outdoor as much as possible. You must plan it in advance. Then your story should have nomothetic, the appropriate to age and effects, not bother 12 years car. Then ideographic, ideography, unique feature of the hero. You should bring out your own qualities. Then you should have 4 parts, preceding that past, present, and future, and the thought and feeling of the character involved. Until it's coming, it's no use. Your story should be realistic. It should have originality. It should not be vague. You should not be wistful. Your interest and hobbies should come out from the system. Because Naveen was trying to, because he is from Hotel Man, he was trying to talk about it. Even Kritika talked few stories because she's already approved and she's working somewhere. That's the reason she is trying to interpret, but she couldn't afford to manage it well. Okay. Adverse effect. You will not like antisocial, unsocial, unionist, religion, attitude. Your 3 needs, need of achievement, power, and affiliation should really come out. Defense mechanism used, I have not used it on there. So this is the type, this is the way you must really bring out those 15 qualities which are there. This is how the story can be written. I'm literally not happy with this type of story that you people have written. Are you all happy? Bolo.
No, sir.
You can keep on going indefinitely, keep on going n number of times SSV, you can perform very well outside, but think about it, you have to improve yourself. It is your personality which matters. As I always said, which I again repeated again, it is not the writing of story is important. It's understanding what you're writing. And you should be able to improve your own personality. That is what's more important. Okay. Any question now? Any question? Anyone? Pucho, any question? Akash, any question?
No, sir. No, sir.
Naveen?
No, sir. I have got the idea where I went wrong, and I will improve.
You have gone. You have not.
Yeah.
You as I said, Naveen, you have got capability to do well. We have not at all done well.
Yes, sir.
You are cool, calm. You know what is to be done. You seem to be sincere in your approach, but it has to be matching with the performance.
Yes, sir.
Okay, Kritika, you've got to long way to go. Nothing wrong with you. Probably you have not understood how to go about it.
Yes.
It's a theoretical understanding. That's the reason it is not the story. Unfortunately, everyone says you must write a story. It's not the story. What, how, and why. there are 3 questions must be answered in your own mind. And that can you only understand if you have read about what personality, what emotion, so many other factors come to which I have tried to tell these people around there, but I know. Sometimes I give up around that. कोई फायदा नहीं पढ़ाने का, क्यों आकाश? आकाश,
Sir.
कोई फायदा ही पढ़ाने का, कोई फायदा नहीं हुआ यार, इतना बात करने का. We have talked so many days. क्या? बोलो ना. हाँ भाई, नवीन.
Yes, sir.